In 1998, Boy Scout Troop 337 of Central Iowa embarked on what was intended to be a routine caving expedition. Their destination, Pandemonium Santanico Cave, a largely undocumented cavern system nestled deep in the Arizona desert, surrounded by inhospitable terrain, numerous legal restrictions, and home to multiple missing persons reports. Today, we will attempt to break down and chronicle what became of the most disastrous and baffling caving incident in modern history. Despite having no formal spelunking experience, no adult supervision, Scoutmaster Earl was reportedly running late, and a map printed from an old Doom 2 mod forum, the troop entered the cave system at 8:03 a.m. Within minutes, they encountered their first major obstacle, a submersion tunnel referred to in pre-internet folklore as the Sphincter of Sorrow, a 7-inch wide underwater chute, navigable only by passing through upside down. It was also, inexplicably, filled with freshwater piranhas, introduced to the ecosystem by an illegal aquarium dumping in the 70s. One at a time, the boys descended through this passage, forced to leave almost all their navigation equipment and electronics behind. This included their flashlights and batteries, leaving Troop 33 entirely in the dark for almost the remainder of their voyage. After emerging, they were forced to contend with the ossuary crawl, a once spacious chamber that for a time was known as the easiest leg of the journey. However, after several caving incidents in the area led to the untimely demise of previous explorers, the section was now so tightly packed with human remains that movement could only be achieved by exhaling completely and, quote, shimmying between femurs, end quote. The strain of climbing through a mountain of decomposed corpses forced many scouts to breathe heavily, and oxygen levels soon dropped. Thomas Miller, the 25-year-old high school freshman who reportedly had come up with the idea for the exploration, was said to have used a human skull as a breathing mask. In the final chamber, known in local lore as Porta Infernalis, the boys passed through a naturally formed archway of basalt and brimstone. Temperatures spiked to 183 degrees Fahrenheit, or, in Celsius, a number that is probably not as large but equally horrifying to Europeans. Audio from a discarded camcorder captured what appeared to be Gregorian chanting in reverse. It was at this point that navigation became increasingly erratic. The few remaining compasses spun freely. Shadows appeared to move on their own accord, and time appeared non-linear. The scouts had uncovered a portal leading into hell, guarded by Cerberus, an enormous three-headed hound which feasts entirely on the souls of the damned. Furthermore, an eldritch pantheon of elder deities was said to make this cave their home, though the geometry of their physical forms is so twisted by occult magic that to gaze upon them would drive most mortal men insane. Luckily, as mentioned before, the boys had left their flashlights behind and moved past this section without much trouble, and were able to make it towards the exit. After a grueling 27-minute ordeal, all members of the troop were eventually recovered via a sinkhole several miles away, dazed, dehydrated, but all alive and in good spirits. When asked if he would return to the Pandemonium Santanico cave, Thomas Miller was quoted as saying, "Malum inse bono malum vince," an ancient Latin phrase of which little meaning could be derived.